Hello YouTube. So it's 5:07 p.m. Thursday. Trying to get Obama phone 5 to tell me the date. September 7th, 2023. And this here Polestar, I just got done driving it. I don't usually shoot video this way, but my forward-facing camera is not working so good. And my other phone's having a space on, so that's what's up. Anyway, this here Polestar, I'm leaving it in spot 772, which I've been explained is overflow parking for cars that need to be put on chargers, electric cars that are awaiting these chargers to have available space. None of these chargers have available space. As you can see, they all have the little green pulsing thing going on. But yeah, I just had a moment, and it wasn't the angry elf this time. It was Tracy, who up until this point has been a total sweetheart to me, but boy, she just like snapped. Angry snapped. So when I was training on electric stuff with the angry elf, who was not being an angry elf at that time. Oh, by the way, Chianti agrees. When he's angry, he sounds just like Cartman from South Park. Anyway, there was a time that we went to bring a clean car like that Polestar that was in need of charging but was otherwise clean and ready to go out and be rented. And I was like, well, what do we do now? We have no chargers here. And he's like, oh, well, we have other chargers. We have other chargers on the other side. We'll go see if there's one available over there. And I'm not going to take you the route that I drive, but when I drive, I go that way and then hook a left and then hook a left again. This is the pedestrian shortcut here. This is the pedestrian shortcut. Let's go through the building. Indulge in a little air conditioning. It is awfully damn hot outside, so just taking a shortcut through the building for some air conditioning feels good. Anyway, I just love when I get yelled at by somebody who isn't my boss for doing something that somebody who also isn't specifically my boss but was training me and told me to do. I just kind of looked at her and was just like, oh, I'm like, okay. And just kind of rolled my eyes and parked it where I showed y'all I parked it. But as you can see, we've got some additional chargers over here in the reserved area. That one's got a red light on it. It's blinking red light. That means there's a charger problem. I should probably do something about it, but Tracy's made it clear she doesn't want my help. Oh, that one's having the same issue. Anyhow, I came right over to this space here. Where there is a charger with a blue light, which indicates it's ready to go. And she snapped and said, well, we can't park there. That parking is for Hertz employees only. And now that she's said that, I'm thinking perhaps she meant this spot, number 56, as opposed to this spot where the blue Tesla is. All I know is that when I went around, as you can see, we've got, well, we had another blinking red light, but we've got cars charging on this side and cars charging on this side. I haven't been given any direction as to one side being correct and the other side not being correct. So just from what I'm seeing, it's acceptable to charge cars on both sides. So I saw nothing wrong with backing in here to use this charger, which has a blue light, which tells me that it's available and ready to go. But boy, she rolled up and just started yelling at me. And the funny thing is she came through in I believe it was a Kia EV6, and she drove through right here. I don't drive through right here. That looks like it's clearly marked as a pedestrian way. These holes that are marked specifically for pedestrians, I don't drive through those, but apparently that's okay. Anyway, there's other places I could have charged in, but the way she snapped, I was just like, whatever, I'm push it in the overflow. And if you don't appreciate my help on the EVs, that's fine. That is fine. I've got my maintenance cars to move up ahead of me. You can probably see the dollar maintenance line. It's got 2 cars sitting in it waiting for me. And I've got plenty of other stuff to do without the EVs. So that's fine. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, and you don't yell at Dan when he's helping out with your shit. So I'm going to go back to moving these, and maybe I'll work on some electric stuff later. But she just pretty much lost the person who was working hardest on our team for electric. It's Thursday, September 7th, 2023, 8:04 p.m. And I wasn't going to shoot any video on this break, and then it occurred to me that I actually wanted to shoot video of this just because it's something I haven't done yet on my break from the car rental center. Yesterday I went to Fry's to get food to the cats. The cats seemed very relieved that I did. And I went down to the Fry's at 24th Street and Baseline. And it was a bit of a drive. I was able to get there and back on time during my break, in spite of the fact I had a bit of a wait to check out. But it occurred to me as I was on my way back to work that, damn, I'm really close to downtown Phoenix. I could have just gone to the downtown Phoenix Fry's. And as I was on my way to Circle K to get some food on my break, which is probably what I do on most breaks, lunch breaks, I take them generally between 8 and 8:30. As I was almost there, it occurred to me that, yeah, going to Fry's is a good idea. Way more food options, especially considering the last time I went in that Circle K, all their area for food, and I mean like sandwiches and microwave burritos and that sort of thing, were completely empty. I think this is the entrance for Fry's. I'm not 100% sure. I might have just gone into the wrong parking garage. I'm reasonably sure this is the entrance to Fry's, though. Although I didn't see any sign on the outside. I saw something like Blanco parking. Oh yeah, I can see the Fry's sign off in the distance. Feeling good that I remembered that. Gotta buy something here. I won't get my parking validated, which is not a big deal. Obviously, I'm buying something here. First time I've taken my break here, so it's actually been quite a while since I've come to this Fry's. I used to come here quite a bit, as it was a really convenient stop on the way home in the morning from the Amazon warehouse that I worked at. But it's kind of fallen off my top of mind radar. So Blanco, yeah, that's the restaurant next to the Chase Bank. Wow, I can run downstairs and do my banking while I'm here too. This is going to be actually a really useful lunch break for me. But first things first, I got to get my parking validated and get something to eat because I'm freaking hungry. Interestingly enough, my camera's working good today. I'm on the iPhone 6s Plus at the moment. But that shaky camera problem, it's not the first time I've had it. In fact, I'd have to really think to realize how many times I've had it. I want to say this is probably the fourth time I've had it. Not 100% sure on that, but I think this is the first time I've had that problem happen with an iPhone 6 or 7 cameras. So it's an issue I'm familiar with. Anyway, I'm going inside, get my food, hopefully do my banking, and I will be back soon. Wrapped up another day of work. Another week of work, depending on how you look at it. I'm working now from Sunday through Thursday, so I just wrapped up my Thursday night, but the pay period's from Monday through Sunday. So as far as like the work week, the pay period week, I got 1 day left, but yeah, this is my weekend. It starts now. 10:38 p.m. I gotta get a clock in this Saturn that's actually correct, because that shit just drives me nuts. Thursday, September 7th, 2023. And, I think I'm going this way. No real plans for tonight. I got something I'm thinking about doing, but that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the rest of my shift. So I did hold true to my passive-aggressive response to being yelled at by Tracy to not do any more work on electric vehicles. Almost. And by almost, I mean I did put one more Tesla on a charger. But not through the course of working on electric vehicles, but through the course of working on maintenance. When I got back from lunch, it was, I want to say it was in the gatekeeper line, but it wasn't even in the gatekeeper line. Somebody had left it in the 6. I'm not quite sure what the heck it's called. Somebody said it's telemetry, and I don't even know what the hell that means. But in the video where I moved the Maserati, by the way, still sitting waiting for a windshield. I took this lovely picture of it the other day. At first I'm thinking, God, they're just ignoring the thing, and then it dawned on me that, yeah, that's probably not a windshield that the glass people just happen to keep in stock. So it might be waiting for a windshield for a while. When I said 6 inspection, I know I sounded confused as hell, and I am kind of confused. I know sometimes they write telemetry on it, but generally speaking, there'll be a 6 on the window. And that's the note to me that it goes in a row for 6, which can be in one of 2 places. And that doesn't really matter. What matters is that there's generally a row for cars with a 6 on the window. There's something specific the shop does with them. I don't work for the shop, so I can't say what that is. I just know where to put it for the shop. Anyway, sometimes when I get back from a break, or if I've been up working upstairs and I make it back down to the maintenance lot, there will be cars put in lines they don't belong in. And there was a Tesla in the 6 line that obviously didn't belong in that line. And when I get a car that's put in some kind of a maintenance area, I start it up and I look to see if there's any displays that come on, any lights, any warning lights, any text, since everything's computer controlled these days, some text saying that there's something wrong with it, and sort it accordingly based on what it tells me. Now normally there's writing on the window, and I sort it on that. Although when I start the car up to move it, if there's something on the window and then what comes up on the screen is something completely different, I sort it by what's on the screen. And so far the shop seems to be cool with me doing it that way. Anyway, yeah, this Tesla was sitting where the 6-hole should be, and it didn't have a 6-hole. And I got in it and I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I started it up, well, in as much as one starts up a Tesla, which is to say that I stepped in it, the screen came on, and then I shoved the little card key into its center console, armpit, whatever the hell you want to call it, to put it into drive mode. Electric cars don't have engines to start, for those who don't know. Anyway, at that point, it has it ready to drive. It was going to give me any warnings about things being wrong with it. That's where it would do it. And it didn't. The only thing I'm really looking for to pop up on a Tesla screen that directly concerns me, the car says hi, is that the tire pressure is wrong. There's a tire pressure issue, or a tire pressure sensor issue. I mean, occasionally I get some like weird stuff that pops up on it, and I put a pink hat on it, which is for the shop to service it. Although generally speaking, with the Tesla, the shop just ends up sending it to a Tesla dealership, because it's not like we work on those kind of cars. I mean, there's certain basic things that we fix on them, like the pillars that always come apart on the sides. Like our people are quite capable of popping those back into place. To be honest, I could probably figure out how to pop them back into place. It's just not my job. I put it in the line for somebody who's qualified to do that, to do it. I couldn't see anything else that was wrong with it. And the only thing that made sense for me to do with it at that point, I mean, I guess I could have put it in the dirties, because it was a dirty car. Oh, there goes my camera again. I could have put it in the dirties because it was a dirty car, but I saw an open charger. I didn't see the angry elf or his angry sidekick, so I just went ahead and backed it up to an available charger and put it on the charge, since it was at about, I don't know, 20-something% on the battery. I did notice that those two working together don't seem to service as many electric cars as I do.
I don't know what they're doing their whole time. I see them driving around. I don't drive around with it, servicing the electric cars, other than to specifically drive electric cars around to where they need to go. Like, I don't... When I'm working by myself, I don't use a shag, bottom line. And I see them driving each other around in a shag, and I don't really understand what for. But anyway, not my job to figure that out. So yeah, I kind of kept to my. I did do that, but other than that, yeah. Once I had it charging, I just walked away and went back to dealing with my maintenance lines. That just was the best way. It was the only thing that made sense to me, is how to deal with maintenance lines. Speaking of Tesla Model 3s, I had one that kind of blew my mind today. So it had this written on the side. Now, normally, if that's on the side of a gas-powered car, that means that the shop needs to look for a fuel leak. There's no gasoline in a Tesla, at least not as part of the operation of a Tesla. Now, when I got in the car, it reeks of gasoline inside that thing. A friend of mine suggested deliberate vandalism. I don't think so. And if for no other reason than if you deliberately vandalize a rental car, generally speaking, like, you get charged for that, and nobody wants that. My guess is that the person who rented the Tesla was probably helping somebody out that ran out of gas and transported a can of gas in the inside the Tesla, and some of it sloshed out. That's my guess, but I have no idea why the inside of that Tesla reeks of gas. But I will say that's not a mechanical issue inside a Tesla Model 3. We're not looking for the gas leak. Like, that should have went to detail. However, as you saw on the side of the window, it also had a steering wheel issue, and I don't think I've talked about the Tesla Model 3 steering wheel issue. Now's not the time, but there is a problem with the steering wheel covers. It's just a cosmetic thing, although it feels gross when they're coming apart. And our shop has a way of dealing with those. Somebody had wrapped like grip tape around it, but apparently somebody decided that wasn't adequate. So at least the shop has to look at that. And I think our shop would deal with that as opposed to sending it out to Tesla. So at least there is a reason for it to be in the shop line, because smelling like gasoline in a car that doesn't use gasoline isn't a shop issue. It would otherwise go to detail. So there was another rather odd thing that happened today that I kind of want to talk about, but I'm at Newtown and I feel like singing some karaoke here. I haven't been here for karaoke in a while, so yeah, I'm gonna roll over and indulge in that. But yeah, all in all, very pleasant day at work. I'm just kind of. I'm not making a big deal out of Tracy yelling at me. I feel like she overreacted. I mean, if she had something to explain to me, it would have been helpful if she had got out of the vehicle and explained it. But to just start yelling at me through the window of a vehicle, I'm just interpreted that to mean, okay, you're contradicting what somebody else told me and being a bitch, and I'm done helping you with the EVs. Not technically something I have to do.